I went to the Colosseum while we were in Rome, and
Mm.
that
Really cool.
it is so much bigger than you think it will be. Like I expected it to be like small. This is like an 80,000 person arena. Like
Dude,
it's
Yeah.
fucking
It's huge.
massive.
It's cool, isn't it? I
Yeah.
really like standing in history. Like it's a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
deal to me, and I really enjoyed lame history. I once stood in a place where American Indians washed their clothes, and I was like, "This is kind of neat." It was like sort of like a paved, and you could tell there used to be water running there. All right, cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't paved, but it was like paved with rocks, and I can just imagine a social scene happening where all the women take like, more laundry than just theirs and clean it and hang out with each other and shoot the shit and whatever.
Sure.
And I was like, wow, so that happened right here 200 years ago to 20,000 years ago or whatever, 200,000 years ago. I don't, these numbers mean nothing to me, but like however long Native Americans were here, like just washing shit and living that life. Cool.
Too bad they
You
know
go
how
to
to
the
count.
You go to the
Not a lot of
Colosseum
anything.
though, it's a bigger deal. Like there's 80,000
Dumb
people that were
fuckers.
in
That
here.
was
Didn't they
that was
flood
built
it
in,
and have like
yeah.
naval battles in it or
Yeah,
something?
they did.
Yeah,
they
did.
flooded the base of it. Yeah, and that was
Dude,
so it was
I just
it was
imagine
completed in
that.
50 AD. So it was
Here's
like
the thing, though.
fucking almost 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
It's
The reason they
insane.
flooded it and had the naval battle, it's the whole thing is a mega flex. They're recreating one of their great victories over a rival, an opponent, another
Oh, yeah.
country. They're not just like, hey, maybe it'd be neat if there's a naval battle. They're saying, hey, remember that time we shit on Macedonia? Let me show you how it went. And they're
Yeah.
making people fight to the death
Yeah.
to recreate it. Or I don't think they died.
Remember when we
That one
fucked
might have
up
been just a
Cyrus
show.
of Persia? Here, we
Yeah.
just
Here
got
he
a,
is.
we just got an accused rapist and put Cyrus's
Yeah.
headdress on him, and
No,
now that's
they
Cyrus.
would have
I-
Cyrus. They would fucking
Yeah.
have Cyrus. That's the best part when those
Well,
Roman
not-
generals
not
would
hundreds
roll
of
back into town. When Caesar would roll back into town, part of the procession would be the fucking captured king and queen and all the fucking royal family of wherever they just came from and a bunch of slaves and shit. And they'd execute the fucking king of whoever they just conquered in the goddamn Colosseum in
Was it-
horrific
Yeah.
ways.
Was it Marcus Aurelius who would like have someone ride next to
Yes.
him who was like,
yeah, I
or no, it was
remember.
Julius Caesar. It was
Right,
Caesar who
right.
had someone
That's
ride
just
next
a
to
man.
him who would say like,
fuck,
you
are you laid a
you're-
trap?
Yeah, no, Slush Slush knew exactly where I was going. Where like
Yeah.
like as Julius Caesar would ride through his chariot through the people
Yeah.
of Rome, everyone was so addicted to Julius Caesar, like they loved him, that he would have someone behind him who would talk to him the whole time and just say like, "You're only a man.
But it
You're
didn't
only
work,
a man.
though. Didn't
You're
work.
only a man." And
I
it
went
did
to the
not.
place,
It didn't stick.
I went to the
Really?
place where Julius Caesar
kinda
was
did.
stabbed.
It's okay.
So it's like ruins there, but it's like in the middle of Rome. So it's like it's like a city block that is just like dropped down because like a lot of the city sort of built up over time. It's like a drop down thing, and you can see where like Caesar was stabbed and shit like that. But instead of like making it into
crazy.
like you could walk all over it because it's like really old ruins, they put up like fences around it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna keep this so you can look in from the outside." And because there was nothing there, just like fuckloads of stray cats moved in there. So they
Yeah.
made it into like a cat sanctuary. So now there's
Shit.
just like you go to where Julius Caesar was stabbed, and there's just fucking hundreds of cats, and they're like fucking adopted cats that are like the
Yeah.
people there look after them. So you got like every cat has like missing an eye or missing a leg or it's like
Jesus.
fucked up in some way. So you just like sitting there.
I'm here
just
for
like,
history.
"Oh, yeah. Oh, this is so amazing. Julius Caesar was stabbed here 2,000 years ago, and now there's a three-legged cat licking his balls on that spot." It's like
America's so young. I've been to the Alamo, and that was whatever
Like
170 years ago.
150 years ago. Yeah.
yeah.
And oh my god, it's falling apart. There ain't nothing to see there. I was so
Really?
upset that I was like, I got hot and sweaty for this. Like,
What is
fuck
there to
this.
see? There must be
Rubble.
walls.
I remember there was one part in particular there was most of a wall and an archway, maybe. And that was like it. Like it's like so little that it's not worth going. Like genuinely
It
not worth
doesn't
going.
have like 4 walls and a fort in the middle.
So
No.
it was a big thing. The Alamo, you got to keep in mind, it was a big missionary. You
Okay.
see this tiny little bit of rubble. It is a fucking jip. It is a tourist
Yeah,
trap
it's gone.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best
I've
bit
heard
about
people say
Europe
that
is
they're like,
like
it's 90% gone. Like everything
More.
you see is a reconstruction of what it probably looked like, and it's like, well, that's not cool. I can see scaffolding.
Don't go
That's
to
the
the
best
fucking
bit
Alamo.
about when you go to Europe is like you walk into a bar and it's still operating, and then you look at like when it was built, and it's like, wow, this bar has been here for like 700 years before my country even existed.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
Yeah.
wild.
fuck
Dude, there's
me.
a hotel. I was on some Wikipedia page like years ago trying to find like the oldest still existing companies, and there's a hotel in Japan that's been open for like 1500 years, and
that's crazy.
it's like
There's,
1,000 years ago they'd been in business for half a millennia. That's bananas. Like the amount of people over time, like whose entire lives were spent working there, and like it's
No one
it's
cares.
crazy. You
No one
don't even
cares.
think about it the same way like no one will think about us. Like it's
I
bizarre.
love how like you go to like the old places in Italy, and it's like there's always like graffiti on the walls from like 2,000 years ago, and so like Pompeii, because it was like perfectly preserved, there's just like fuckloads of like dicks drawn on the walls and
Yeah.
stuff. And it's fucking hilarious. Like people just fucking in weird positions, and then like a guy like walking like that, and then he's got like a fucking 5 foot long cock coming out from under his little Roman skirt and shit. And it's just still there. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, we
And
have not
like
changed much.
back in the day, some woman was like, Julius, don't you go and paint that on the wall. You're making a fool of us in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And now like little Julius's big dicked drawing. Now it's there.
Yeah.
There's a
That's
famous
part of
one.
history.
I don't know where it is, but the guy is writing this whole thing. He's saying something like, "So long, ladies. You had your chance. My penis will pleasure men's behinds from now on. See how you like that." It's literally him being like, you know what? Fuck you, women. I'm gonna find me a lady boy.
The very first incel.
Yeah. Have you seen the one where it's like a papyrus script and it's like a customer complaint? It's like carved into a stone tablet.
Yeah,
seen
the
that,
quality
yeah.
of his copper was bad or
Yeah,
something.
the wrong grade of copper was delivered.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, listen here, motherfucker. Like, you fucked up my copper delivery. Like, I'm gonna come over there and beat the shit out of you. It's like,
yeah. Dear Mahmood, I am incensed at the quality of copper in thine offerings.
Is it
Had we not
cuneiform or something?
It's like literally some
cuneiform,
guy was like angrily chiseling.
I think it's one of those soft clay tablets, like that nonsense I had
you're
was
right,
joking around with. I think they like press into the sun and then sun bake it, and then boy, take this sun baked tablet to Yafir and stay and wait for his reply. I don't care how long it takes. Days
it takes
go
it
by.
like 3 days.
A week from now, Yafir will realize how much he's fucked.
Yeah,
I've ceased my purchase of his low quality copper.
I love the idea of lost civilizations that peaked and valleyed long before our history. You know, it's hard to even tell how long we've been what we would recognize as people. You know, like if you go back 300,000 years, 400,000, when do you go back and you're like, hey, you're not one of me. You're just a fucking animal man.
Yeah, and that shit, like when they'll say like human beings, like we started between 200 and 400,000 years ago. And it's like
a lot of time.
That's if someone came to me and I said, when did World War I conclude? And they said sometime between 200,000 and 400,000 years ago, I'd say that doesn't make sense.
Sounds like you don't know shit about.
It sounds like you don't know much about the topic at hand, doesn't it? And so when they say that, and they're like, and this dinosaur, it was the size of a house, and then later they come out and go, actually, dinosaurs can't be the size of houses. That doesn't work out physically.
No, that's the. But think about what that would mean, right? Like if there were people just like us, as far as their brain makeup and everything, 400, 500,000 years ago. I mean, in the last like couple thousand years, we've done the thing. We've gone from fucking barely having agriculture to being us on the moon and traveling around and you know all the things we have. That could have happened like 1,000 times in those lost hundreds of thousands of years. No, I love that. That's my
technology
favorite.
is lost all the time.
There would be 100%. That's like with the Antikythera Thera clock, like the first computer that like
that Greek thing they found on the ship.
read the stars. Like I think we just like we were heading in that direction, and then just like Dark Ages, and then it's just like everything just goes to shit, and it's like, and now we're back again. Like we come back, and it's like,
I think if we were to blink out, like if all the humans were to just, you know, like Thanos snapping your finger and we were gone. I think I saw a thing that predicted how long there would still be signs of our presence here on the planet, and it's hundreds of thousands of years because of but it's not long before there's nothing left. Like even the satellites fall out of the sky. The fucking plate tectonics eat everything.
Like shit,
everything
like plastic
rusts,
and stuff
everything
like that
degrades.
lasts
Why would
like
satellites
for a
fall out
long
of the
time.
sky?
They're always integrating orbit.
They're all of them are. Like none of them are just stuck there.
Like
They're all
they're not like an orbit is like technically they're just falling slowly.
I don't know about that
Earth.
stuff like the James Webb that they got way the fuck out there because it's way the fuck out there. Like they can't.
Well, it has to have a.
That's the one that they use to take those unremarkable photos that they punch up in Photoshop.
Those photos are badass. You need to chill. You gotta get some wonderment back in your life. God damn it! I don't want to hear. It's not photoshopped.
It's literally Photoshop. They admit it. Dude, you think there's actually fucking orange novas and shit that they're like, oh, we found all this like beautiful kaleidoscope pictures. Really?
What color do you think everything is?
I think it's way less marketable. I think it's obviously not that. Like the same way they're like, we found life on Mars for the 5th time.
You're a gloomy Gus. You just never.
No,
want
I just demand
results.
I demand results. Go back to the fucking moon before you keep pontificating.
You're looking at the pictures saying they're not pretty enough for you. Oh, did you touch this up with Photoshop? Oh, Instagram versus reality, bro. Get out of here with your.
You're the kind of guy that's like
just because you like your fake stuff.
You look at porn and you're like, she's wearing too much makeup.
She's wearing too much makeup.
She's wearing too much makeup. I can't beat off to this.